Elizabeth, yeah, go ahead and download Kick. We have a good time over there. So let me tell y'all what we're going to discuss tomorrow. Because there's a former associate. I don't know if I call him a friend. Former associate. I didn't get sideways with him. And to my knowledge, he didn't get sideways with me. Who crossed paths with me like almost 10 years ago. And I saw him trying to do his thing, work his spiritual ones and twos. But he was making little pots with Palo symbols on them. And I'm like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, salam alaikum. And he didn't hit me back with nothing. And I'm like, can Sambia alaikum tu mare? He didn't hit me back with nothing. I said, you scratching the Palo? He's like, no. I said, what you? And he was like, oh, no. Prophet, he hit me back. Oh, Prophet, I'm not making a little mini Nganga. This is just a hoodoo spiritual pot. I said, no, it's not. No, you can't do that. You can't do that, right? And so he stopped, and he was very humble. And I'm like, okay, well, here, I will teach you some things, right? And so I taught him some things. We tried to do a show together, stuff like that. And we eventually parted ways. But like my dad says, there's nothing new under the sun. And so I'm late at night doom scrolling through Instagram. And what do I see? This Nick Nog back at it. Spiritual pots with Congo symbols, throwing around words like Congo and Nkisi. And I'm like, oh no, we can't have that. Because the issue is, I don't know if anybody was here in the beginning of the live stream. Do you guys remember when I was talking about that? We're talking about that whole Papa Legba thing. And I was saying I knew of someone who on themselves using with some help from their local PD. Well, they were dabbling disrespectfully in Palo Mayombe. And they ran at the police with a Bethlehem held high, talking about, they're making me do it. They're making me do it. And the police was like, well, I hate it for you. And there was another fellow. This was like some years ago. And this fellow was selling people ancestor pots. And he was actually feeding them with red stuff. Like we do in African traditional religions, take a rooster and, and give them to people. And I'm like, hey, do you. But I thought it was odd. Like, why I need to get that from you to talk to my people? Why I need to get that from you to talk to my people? But you don't just give somebody something that's been fed. You just don't do that. And everyone who got one of them things had some bad stuff happen to them. So that's why I'm trying to, it's not me trying to go against someone because I don't have to do that. It's more, we're going to talk about this on Kick to educate you guys on what to look for. Because if you see somebody, okay, here, Nene, if you still here, I got your chalkboard. And I said this the other night. Right? A cross is a universal symbol. It's a cross. It's a plus sign. That symbol is universal. No one lays claim to that. Okay? You can have that wherever. If you put arrows on it, still, those could be directional. Anyone. That is Palo Mayombe. Okay? Those are symbols of Palo Mayombe. That has no place in hoodoo. Does hoodoo draw heavily from the Congo? Absolutely. But that's not what we do, with the exception of one working. There's one working, but not all. And I know this person is still not scratched in the Palo. I know they're not. And they're teaching people this stuff. And there is no safe way if you're not initiated to be doing this. None. And so I don't want people ending up, like, shoot, I just bought this spirit bottle from Dr. Such and Such. And then next thing you know, you wake up like, what I'm going to do today? Jesus? Big mama, oh, Lord, that mean I must be in the upper room.